Hello and welcome to Ulid Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say tonight? And so our card for the reading. Oh, it is Saturday night. It is late and I am feeling a little silly here. The card for the reading is the Princess of Swords. Okay. This can be a card that is related to a period of being impulsive, some kind of turmoil, a kind of drive towards self-improvement. There are also undertones of maybe clairvoyance, having the ability to kind of see beyond the veil a little bit. Not necessarily understanding it, but, getting a little bit of a peek there. This is very much a rising of mental energies. Okay, so we have kind of a scattered bowl tonight. This is a creepy face right here. It reminds me of a kind of very creepy snowman, right? The eyes and the nose and the smile. I don't know. That just... so that's kind of a vibe there. We'll have to kind of look and see what else is going on before I can really... It almost reminds me, if you've ever seen, I think it's the second Batman movie with the Penguin with Danny DeVito. It kind of has like those vibes a little bit. Okay, so all right, so the first one I'm looking at, this looks like a person who has maybe like a large dress on, and it almost looks like it's blowing up. Kind of like if you think of that iconic image of Marilyn Monroe standing over the vent, the steam, with the steam rising and blowing her skirt up. Kind of a vibe like that. I feel like there is a sense of kind of all of a sudden like something coming, like a wind coming up and just making you feel exposed. Okay, something you were not ready for. All of us, and I don't think this is necessarily anything super serious, but we all know what it feels like to have to just not feel comfortable when we're out in the world. I mean, in a very literal way, just having some kind of wardrobe malfunction, something rips, or, you forgot to like put something on, and, you're out there in the world, you started your day and you can't go home, or whatever it is. But I think that this is more along the lines, because this is in that emotional, spiritual zone there. And I feel like this is, something has caught you by surprise. It makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel like you are not necessarily in control of the narrative here. But I think that this is just kind of not the most important thing going on. And I don't know what this is. Almost like maybe somebody said something to you that made you feel called out, or like they just were not careful with your emotions. something like this. So what I think, though, is the more important part of this is that we have like a person here with their hand extended. We have another person right here with their hand extended. We have a serpent over here. And I feel there's a real deep feeling of longing here. And this is more of like a spiritual longing, a strong pull inward. Okay, I think, I feel like you go through these phases where you're going along in life, right? Everything's whatever, fine. It's, you get through your days. Some days you're really happy. Most days you're content. And then you get into these phases where it starts to feel like it's not enough. Like something just isn't right. That like there has to be more to this kind of monotony, right? And as that intensifies, you begin to look inward. You begin to look for spiritual, religious answers, guidance, mental health things, self-help, self-work, right? Really trying to look at things that are a little more existential. And I think that everybody kind of goes through these moments. Some of us are perpetually in this, and spend our lives kind of really searching. I think the majority of us, though, kind of just go through life, and then we have moments where this kind of comes up, right? And I think that there's truly been this ache for discovery. Now, I think this thing that happened, where you felt a little bit like maybe your privacy was violated, or maybe somebody kind of called you out, or they just were not kind to you, whatever it was, it just really didn't feel good. And it makes me think that you are kind of retreating into yourself. Although this wasn't like a big deal, it was kind of, the last straw socially right now, right? And hey, we all kind of have those things too. Sometimes it's just like that one comment that's like, okay, that's enough for today. I'm done. It's time to go and do some soul searching, right? Okay, so now I see a person here who is holding maybe like a saw or something, and it looks like they're cutting something in half, if you can see that. And so I feel almost like a sense of, it feels, like a little bit aggressive. We have a little kind of like a unhappy face right here. And I feel like when you kind of turn to your interior, there's in the transition, right, of being more in your mundane life into this interior world journey, discovery, the transition between those two can be uncomfortable, because you don't always know where to start, right? And it can feel very lonely. You can only be with others so much. I mean, of course, you can join, like a religious order, or, some kind of a cult system or grade system or whatever it is, a self-help group or whatever. And all of those things are, can be very helpful, definitely. But you only can do so much in a group setting. Nobody can lead you into yourself. So it is something that we have to be very brave, right? To really do this in earnest. It is a lonely path at times. I feel like this transition can make you feel a little bit moody, tormented a little bit, right? Lashing out. I'll share with you when I first began, maybe not my first exploration into, these esoteric matters and, whatever, the philosophy, psychology, cosmology, all these things that religions, my variety of desires and passions and whatever, I had always this longing to find somebody who would be like a parent to me, right? Like a guru, I guess, maybe. Some kind of holy person. Somebody who could just give me the answers. Tell me, what do I need to do? Right? Could it be that easy? Would that fix everything? Would that mend my broken heart, right? The trauma, the disillusion, feeling disenfranchised, all of these things. If I could just find one person or a group of people, that would fix it all. Right? And it, for me anyways, it never happened. That never happened. I met a lot of different practitioners, and it was always kind of a letdown. People have beautiful things that they write. I think that you should read widely, definitely. Practice all kinds of different things. Whatever feels attractive to you, try it. I'm definitely a person that believes heavily in building your own composite system, your own worldviews. We borrow from a lot of places, of course, and that's okay. I'm not a purist at all. But it can be scary, and it can be, I remember feeling very angry. There's a cricket in my house somewhere. He's singing. He, I don't know, singing. There are these little black ones. They're the field crickets. They're all over the place outside. But anyways, so I remember feeling very angry because it was almost like the universe, betrayed me again. If you don't know from my other readings, my parents died when I was young. I was orphaned. And so in some way, it felt kind of the same after years of just like looking. But what I've learned, and I know I talk about myself a lot, and I'm sorry, but it's how I connect with other people. And it's not because I love talking about myself, although I don't mind it. But it's how I can share with you. And it's not because I'm anything special. I'm just a person like anybody else. But that we have to start to be comfortable when we go into these interior landscapes with being with ourselves. We are our own heroes. We save ourselves. We are our holy people. We are our channel to God, to the divine, to the goddess, to the universe, whatever it is. We are that conduit. We are that witness. We are that receiver. We are all of the things. Okay, and I know it can make us grumpy. It can make us feel left behind. It can make us feel isolated, alienated, especially if you have not found other weary travelers to commiserate with, to have moments of joy with. But there are communities out there. You just have to go looking for them. Hopefully, this channel will be one of those places where people can find one another. I hope that you all do. Okay? You're not alone in this. And I know it can be disheartening. I know it. But there is worth here. And that worth is so much about you. I mean, you are worth doing the work. You're here for a reason. And so, let's see. What is this face? It's so silly. I keep looking at it. I like it and I am repelled by it. It seems so much like some kind of just absurdist meme or something. The only thing I can think of is just don't let that cynical, nihilistic bug set in. I have nothing against nihilism or nihilists. I'm very cynical and somewhat nihilistic myself. But it's not useful if you let that rule you. And it's easy to get there. It's an easy way out. I'm sorry. I've said it. I said it. I said it. It's easy to just be that person that has nothing nice to say ever, that just finds no meaning in anything. It's terribly lonely and it's heartbreaking, definitely. Not easy in those ways, but it's easy to just not try to find something in all of this. So don't let that set in. And that's really what it reminds, like some kind of weird meme type of thing. And then when we turn this one over, it does look like a hummingbird. And this is the one that looked like somebody cutting something in half. So it turns into the hummingbird on this side, which is a most blessed, happy, busy, doing the work, finding that nectar, right? Also not unlike the Princess of Swords. Very sharp, very quick, doing the work, in and out, not lingering too long. And then we had, I did talk about there was the serpent, and that really, in this case, and also it has a crescent moon at the end. Lunar consciousness, knowledge, some kind of, a wanting for that interior sun, the green sun. But also this lunar knowledge to balance it out. Okay. And, and that's the thing. We, are so many of us that watch these kinds of readings and are seeking kind of esoteric, divining and these kinds of messages. We do seek these interior, this interior knowledge, because we really, ultimately it is about transmuting things into that wisdom, that knowing, that you can only gain through the ordeals, right? The ordeals of the mysteries, the psychological, spiritual alchemy, and really just living life. Because this is, I mean, our life is the theater of all of this. And then we take it into our interior spaces, our dream spaces, active imagination, meditation. And that is our laboratory where we kind of study what happens in the theater, right? And then what? We begin to understand a little bit more incrementally, right? Little by little, hopefully. Okay, so we have a little, it looks like a person kind of looking up at the stars, gazing upwards. I feel like as you come out of this kind of disharmony, a feeling of disharmony as you transit into this more interior work, as your feelings start to change a bit, settle. I think it's important for you to, as you gaze into your interior universe, keep track of the motifs, the signs, the symbols, write them down, look them up, research them. Something that you can try to do is, a simple kind of visualization / meditation practice where you just sit quietly, close your eyes, focus on that third eye area, almost like you're crossing your eyes while they're closed. And, do that for as long as you can and let the symbols appear to you. You will, at some point, if you continue to practice this, you will probably have moments where you are getting images, you are getting symbols, you are getting sensations and different kinds of, messaging or thoughts. And this isn't the type of thing where you're trying to just push out the thoughts or, not have any kind of thinking or, a quiet mind, as they say. This is just a space for those projections to kind of appear. And so as you do this, at the end of your little session, write down what you're seeing, what stuck with you. And then over time, you might start to have quite a catalog of symbols. And I would go, maybe draw them, write them, whatever. Go and look them up. If you don't know what they are, look and see. A lot of times it's interesting because like Jung's collective unconscious, these are symbols maybe we've seen passively, we've experienced them, we just didn't know what they were, or it didn't mean anything, so we didn't really look at it too deeply. But they're also just things that come into our the front of our consciousness that are shared collectively in a greater collective unconscious. So basically, the idea that we all are interconnected through our unconscious, and we all share these kind of important archetypal symbols, stories, allegories, things like fairy tales, mythology, sacred symbols, sacred geometry, even things like how we relate feelings to color or smell. These are things that are shared globally without any kind of interaction, supposedly anyways. Interesting experiment to just try that out, see what comes up for you. Go and research some of it, see if there are any patterns, if any of it is useful for this interior work you are turning towards. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead, and these are the Indigo Sage affirmation cards, and I'm going to go ahead and we're gonna just kind of, ooh, a butterfly, pretty. Let's see what you have to say. Okay. Spirit of truth. Vivify energy. Your heart is a sacred temple of the eternal flame of love, beauty, peace, and joy. All right. Makes sense to me. You are going inwards. You are looking for, ultimately, I mean, a lot of us are looking for that love. That unconditional, undying, eternal love. And where else are we going to find that besides our sacred, eternal temple? All right. All right. All right. I like that one. Okay. And here we are at the end. I'm going to go ahead and thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And we know the algorithm kind of decides everything. So we like to give it engagement because that's what it likes. And this could be liking the video, watching the video from the beginning to the end, sharing the reading on other social media platforms. If you have not subscribed, think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Other than that, if you would like to leave a comment, I would love to read it. I read them all, and sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back. That is because I reply to all of them. And, you know, life gets busy and it takes me a moment to get through them all. And, but they mean so much to me. It really is so important to me to be able to connect with you all. And some of you are so generous with your time and sharing and, you know, just kind of any kind of feedback. It is all very much appreciated. Okay, I'm going to say thank you again, and we will talk in just a few days.